you need the law enforcement in schools to cut back on the mischief and the drug activity.
Well, as far as I can see right here in Madison County, and I read the police blotter every week, just like y'all do. We got one drug agent dressed up like Hell's Angels. Ain't nobody gonna, he works worse than the dopers. We need a man's unit in here. We need help from any place we can get it. We need 2 or 3 people that know how to work dope out in a rural area to work dope. Everything hinges from it. Residential burglaries, air-conditioned thefts, all our problems hinges, not all our problems, a lot of our problems hinge from people that's hooked on dope. Methamphetamine is rampant around here. It's you can't have the only county around that don't have a drug unit, because if you do, the drug dealers come here. We don't want that. We don't need them. They need to be someplace else. They need to be in jail or in prison. So we got to really work on that. I was a member of the drug unit. For some reason, the current sheriff opted out. He might tell y'all why. I don't know why. He opted out. They were charging us $12,000 a year. We had a 7-man unit to come here and work dope. We made 277 drug arrests the last year I was sheriff. I bet there ain't been 277 drug arrests made since I left. If they do, they don't put them in the newspaper. It's a real problem. It's an epidemic. It's got to be worked on. And I don't know anything other to do than just roll your sleeves up and go do it. You can't be all worried about seizing somebody's car or seizing somebody's property. You got to get them all. You got to get the little ones. You got to get the guys that selling pot. You got to get the guys selling crack cocaine. You guys selling methamphetamine. We need them all locked up in jail. We need to get with the district attorney, give them some time. Don't send them down the road with a slap on the wrist. It's not going to be a 3-month job. It's going to take a while, but I've done it before and I can do it again. Thank you.
Meth epidemic ain't just in Madison County. It is nationwide, y'all. And it's not just meth, it's prescription pills too. Now, I did have the managed unit for a year and a half, and it's $14,000 a year. Year and a half, they worked 4 cases. I'm not gonna pay somebody $14,000 to work 4 cases. I do have an investigator that works it. I have a couple of guys that help him work it. That's in my office. We also use the DEA, the GBI. We use probation and we use parole. Those cost us nothing. And we get the same and better results. DEA takes them federal. You go to federal court, you're getting longer time in prison. And you do it day for day. There is very little parole out of federal prison. We've sent several there. I've seen the effects on this on people in this county. I take this very serious because it does lead to other crimes, the thefts, domestic violence. It leads to all of them. And we have done an excellent job since I've been sheriff. Like I said, it's an ongoing thing. It's one of those battles you're always going to fight, no matter what you do. It's always going to be there as long as somebody wants to use it. Thank you.
Okay, question 4. Mr. White, you get to go first. Madison County Special Purpose Local Option Sales Tax will be up for renewal in 2014. Meanwhile, funds are still available from the 2008 SPLOST for the expansion of the county jail. Please discuss how you would like to use SPLOST funds for the Sheriff's Department and jail over the next 4 years.
Well, I would like to add more deputies, so I can put more deputies back in the community. But I would want to check and see if there's something I could do outside the sheriff department for the community with that money. So yes, I would put it back in the sheriff department, but I want my community to prosper first. That would be my thing, so thank you.
Mr. Sutton. Madison County Special Purpose Local Option Sales Tax will be up for renewal in 2014. Meanwhile, funds are still available from the 2008 SPLOST for the expansion of the county jail. Please discuss how you would like to use SPLOST funds for the Sheriff's Department and jail over the next 4 years.
Well, I would like to see a female pod put in the jail for the females, so we could save on transport and housing for the females in surrounding counties. I would also like to see some of that SPLOST money go back to training and safety in the jail. With safely trained jailers, you will have a more efficient run jail. The jailers will run the jail more safely, and that's what we need to do with the extra money. Thank you.
I think quite honestly, the money has to be spent on what it was voted on to spend it on. So we can't say we want to hire some deputies or hire some jailers. I think we've got to spend the money on what we voted to spend it on, which was adding on to the jail. Whether or not this is the right time to do it, I guess depends on a lot of factors. What are you going to do? Are you going to house people out? How many people are you locking up? When I was there, it was operating at capacity and over capacity, and we were having to spend money housing prisoners out. I don't know what the situation is down there now. But if you're going to try to spend it on something other than what it was voted to spend it on, I think that'd be an issue that'd have to go back before the voters. And I don't know that it can be changed. I think it's probably going to have to be spent in that manner.
Mr.
Mr. Lowe's correct. Once it is voted on, whatever that is set aside for, that's what it's spent on. Expanding the jail, last quote I got was $3.3 million to do 124 bed expansion on it. That's adding a medical wing and some more pods onto it. I don't know exactly how much would be left in that SPLOST, but really it would be kind of crazy right now just because of the economy, that if there's not enough to do it out of the SPLOST, not to mess with it at the moment till you have enough money. As far as housing out, I have a deal worked out with Elbert County that they house our females and we house some of their males. Therefore, we're not paying for housing out anybody right now. We've actually saved a lot of money doing that. But with that SPLOST, that's what we just have to sit back and look if we got enough money to do the whole thing right then.
Tom, it's bad to go last, isn't it? Because it really stinks to say they're both right. But they are both right. If it's passed for a specific purpose, that's why it's called the special purpose local option sales tax. If it's used, approved for that purpose, that's what you got to use it for. I think we can add on to the jail. We can create an environment in the jail that actually meets state standards. We can also use that money if it's a sufficient enough amount of money to add on enough to the jail where it'll be something that we'll be able to use in the future. And if we have some extra beds, then we can bring money into Madison County by doing what we're currently doing, which is housing inmates other places. We can bring in, $85 or $100 a day to house other counties' prisoners. So we could actually have the SPLOST money spent and then have some return on that we can then in turn put back into the local commission budget, the general fund, or specifically the jail fund. And I think that's what we ought to do with that money.
Okay, Mr. Zeldner, you get question number